Mountains the healer. Mountains the healer. Talking about mountain is hard because there's just too much to say. If I had to describe them in one word, it would be this: medicine. Mountains are the world's best drug, and I say that with certainty because they are my drug. They have been my drug. Every time I go to the mountains, they welcome me like a long lost son. Standing at their edge makes me feel like standing proudly next to a mother who raised you strongly. Lying down on the grass, it's like a meeting or resting in the safest place on earth, held gently in a mother's arms. My first visit to the mountain was when I was 15. Back then, the mountains were just scenery, just a pretty background for a photo. But after I turned 21, everything changed. I I observed and realized there were much more than they were they were much more than just a backdrop. They were everything. Starting a middle class life after 21 is not easy. So much pressure from family, from job, from expectations around that time. I began looking friends one by one. I began losing friends one by one. Time slipped away. Joy slipped away. All that remained was stress about career, family, loneliness. By this time, I was 28. I felt like I was already dead inside. One especially bad day, I'd lost my shop, a small store I had built with 3 years of hard work. I hoped my family would support me, but they did not. They blamed me instead. I turned to my friends, but they were too busy with their own lives. I felt completely alone. I wanted to cry, but could not. Maybe I had forgotten how I stood in the middle of the road, watching screen, wanting to scream as loud as I could, but I could not. In front of all those people, all lost in their own busy worlds. That's when I realized something: no one really cares unless they need you. I had been there for my friends, late nights, long drives, helping each other, lending hands, but now no one was there for me. Maybe they were selfish, or maybe I was just a tissue to them, use and throw. I walked away. I went to the beach hoping it would calm me. Beaches are supposed to be peaceful, right? But there I saw families laughing, couples holding hands, kids playing. I did not feel peace. I felt jealous. I did not belong there. I left them. Then I turned to my one constant, my motorcycle. I haven't uh, I haven't told you about him yet. He's not just a bike. He's my son, my friend, my partner, my everything. A 2013 Royal Enfield Standard 350 kickstart. His name is Adam. When I ride him, I feel like a king walking beside a tiger. I could talk about him for hours, but there's a story for another day. That's a story for another day. Back to that ride. I didn't know where I was going. I just rode one one district after another. I crossed the borders of my state without even realizing that when I'm gonna stop, because I found myself lost in a forest, staring up at a massive mountains. It looked beautiful from below, and something inside me whispered, "Go." I picked my bike. The path ahead was too narrow and rocky, meant only for walking. No more people, no more noise, just me and the mountains. So I started to walk. The wind greeted me first, cold and soft, blushing against my face like a gentle reminder that I was still alive. The trees swayed, that branched their branches, dancing as if they were welcoming me into their world. The narrow trail and led me deeper into the forest, surrounded by tall trees and scattered rocks. The early, the earthly smell of moss and soil filled the air. Birds chirped from above, and the music of smell and the yes and the music and then rustle of smell of small animals in the underbrush created a symphony of nature. For the first time in a long while, everything felt real. As I moved ahead, I heard the faint sound of water, like a whisper. I followed it until I reached a small stream trickling down from the rocks above, or crystal clear water. I dipped my hand in it, was too cold. I splashed it on my face, and in that moment I felt like I was washing away not just the dust or dirt, but days of sadness. I drank that too. It felt like, or it tasted like, the kind of purity you can't find in bottled water. Refreshing, alive. I continued walking and noticed someone had carefully placed small stones into steps leading upward. Whisper Whisper had done that. Whoever had done that, I silently thanked them. I Those little steps made a big difference. Climbing was hard, my legs were burning, my breath heavy, but something about the place pushed me to keep going. Then I saw it, a patch of open sky in the distance, bright, clear. It pulled me like a magnet. I ran there. I was tired, out of breath, but I ran it. It felt like I was escaping a cave, like I was being born again. Finally, I reached the top, and what I saw took my breath away. I stood above the clouds. Snow blanketed the ground like a soft white sheet, and slowly, as the mist removed it, revealed a view so beautiful it felt unreal. Below it was a green paradise, a natural carpet of green grass, trees, and silence. The wind here was different. Hot, not wind, not sharp, not wild, not sharp, not calm. Like a lullaby. I took a deep breath. It felt like my lungs had been waiting for this moment for years. I raised both my hands to the sky, spun around once, and laughed for no reason, just joy. Then I went to the edge of the mountain. From there, I saw endless ranges of mountains, peaks after peaks, each one standing tall, proud, eternal. I looked down. I could not see the bottom, just endless depth. For a brief moment, a dark thought crept in. What if I just jumped? What if I ended the meaningless, painful life here? Maybe the wind heard me, because just then a strong gust slapped my face, snapping me out of it as if the mountains itself said, "No, not here, not today." And I screamed as loud as I could. Everything came pouring out. The pain and the loneliness, the fear, the failures, the betrayal, the anger, the tears. I never cried. I let it all out into the wind, and the wind took it away. After that, a strange calm settled me inside, a stillness I had not felt in years. I lay down on the grass, cold and soft beneath me. It was better than my bed. I looked up at the sky, clear, white, and shining. The the clouds seemed to smile at me, changing shapes like a silent performance. Just for me, I smiled back. Somehow I felt asleep there, not because I was tired, but because for the first time in a long time I was at peace. I don't know how long I slept, but when I woke up, the clouds were still above me, watching gently, like they had waited the whole time. The sun peeked from behind them, soft and golden. That simple sight made me smile. I had not slept like that in years, not just deep sleep, but peaceful sleep. The kind that touches your soul. I slowly stood up, took one last look at the sky, and started walking back. On my way down, I whispered a quiet thank you to the trees, the wind, the rocks, the birds, to everything. Then, with all my heart, I shouted, I love you. It, it echoed through the forest like a secret shared between old friends. As I walked the same path I came from, it felt like the entire forest was waving goodbye. The wind brushed past me, playful. The leaves rustled gently as if saying, take care. Even the birds sang something different, like a farewell song. I know I was going back to my rough and normal life, the job, the pressure, the loneliness, the pain, but something inside me had changed. I felt like life had given me a second chance, a quiet push, a fresh breath. When I reached my bike, it was slightly wet from the cold mountainous region mist. I smiled, I wiped it down with my hands, patted the seat like greeting an old friend. Let's go home, Adam, I whispered to my Royal Enfield. I started the engine. I started the engine. The thump of the bike felt stronger this time, like it understood me better now. As I rode down, I looked at the mountains one last time in my mirror. It stood there like a mother watching her child leaving the house, calm, proud, gentle. I smiled and made a promise to myself, I'll be back. And I did. Many times, whenever I felt lost, broken, confused, or even happy, I found my way back to the mountains, not just this one, different ones, new places, new paths, but every single time it felt like my first time. That's the magic of mountains. So, my brothers and sisters, if you are ever feeling empty, lonely, tired, or even if you are feeling great, go to the mountains. Trust me, they heal ourselves. They heal more than you can ever imagine. They don't talk, but they listen. They don't promise, but they give. They don't judge, but they understand. The mountains, they don't save you. They remind you how to save yourself. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel.